The massive alien ship hung motionless above Seoul, its metallic surface gleaming under the afternoon sunlight.
Captain Hyun Park watched through the reinforced glass of the Global Defense Command Center, his breath momentarily caught in his throat. The alien transmission cut through every communication channel on Earth. A deep, resonant voice that seemed to vibrate with cold calculation spoke in perfect English. "Inhabitants of Earth, your civilization has been evaluated.
Surrender is your only option."
Inside the command center, President Yoon Lee stood surrounded by military advisors and scientific experts. Her hands were steady, her posture calm despite the unprecedented moment humanity faced. Around her, screens flickered with real-time data showing the alien vessel's capabilities, massive energy readings, unknown technological signatures that defied current human understanding.
Dr. Eun Kim, the lead scientific advisor, analyzed the transmission's technical components.
Her fingers moved rapidly across holographic displays, her keen eyes tracking every minute detail of the alien communication. "Their technology is advanced," she whispered, "but not incomprehensible." The alien ship began projecting massive holographic images across major cities worldwide. Scenes of planetary submission from previous conquered civilizations played out, entire populations being herded, advanced societies reduced to subservient colonies. It was a psychological warfare tactic designed to break human spirit before any actual conflict began. In military bases across continents, soldiers stood ready. Fighter jets were scrambled, naval fleets positioned strategically, and satellite defense systems activated. Humanity might not fully understand the alien threat, but they were prepared to resist. Captain Park studied the alien vessel's structure. Its design was unlike anything human engineers had ever conceived, smooth, without visible weapon systems, yet radiating an aura of overwhelming technological superiority. He recognized this was not just a military encounter, but a defining moment for human civilization. The alien transmission continued, listing Earth's potential fate. Surrender meant becoming a resource extraction colony, losing sovereignty, being integrated into the vast galactic administrative system of the Zorn Empire.
The message was clinical, devoid of emotion, presenting submission as a logical inevitability. President Lee stepped forward, her microphone activating global communication networks.
Her voice was clear, calm, and resolute.
"On behalf of Earth's unified governments, we reject your ultimatum. Humanity will determine its own destiny."
The response was instantaneous and unexpected. Instead of anger or immediate aggression, the alien transmission simply went silent.
The massive ship remained suspended, almost as if processing this unprecedented resistance.
Dr. Kim leaned towards Captain Park.
"They didn't expect defiance," she murmured. "Every civilization they've encountered before has immediately surrendered."
Military strategists worldwide began rapid consultations.
Satellite imaging, advanced radar systems, and quantum communication networks were all focused on understanding the alien vessel's next potential move. The world held its collective breath. In homes, offices, and public spaces, people watched the unfolding scenario. Fear mixed with an emerging sense of collective human determination.
News networks broadcast the encounter continuously, transforming a potential extinction-level event into a moment of global unity.
Captain Park noticed something peculiar. The alien ship, despite its overwhelming technological superiority, seemed almost uncertain. Its initial projection of absolute dominance had been subtly undermined by humanity's unexpected response. President Lee continued broadcasting. "We invite dialogue, but we will not submit. Earth stands united." As hours passed, the alien vessel remained motionless. No further transmissions came. The global defense systems remained at maximum alert, a testament to human preparedness and resilience. What the Zorn Empire didn't understand was human unpredictability.
They had encountered countless civilizations that followed predictable patterns of submission.
Humanity was different. Complex. Innovative. Determined. The first contact had ended, not with conquest, but with a clear, unequivocal message: Earth would fight. Earth would resist. Earth would survive. Captain Hyun Park looked out over Seoul, then back at the alien ship.
Something told him this was just the beginning of an extraordinary journey for humanity. The underground research facility buzzed with nervous energy. Dr. Eun Kim stood at the center of a complex network of holographic displays, her team working with unprecedented intensity. Outside, the world knew nothing of the breakthrough that might save humanity.
Quantum computing had always been humanity's theoretical frontier.
But now, with alien technology looming over Earth, theory needed to become reality faster than anyone thought possible. Dr. Kim's fingers danced across quantum interfaces, pushing computational boundaries that seemed impossible just weeks ago. "We need a system that can predict and counter alien technological defenses," she told her lead engineer, Jin Woo. His eyes were bloodshot from days of continuous work, but his hands remained steady. Around them, prototype systems flickered. Each represented months of compressed research, theories developed in weeks that would have normally taken decades. The alien transmission had done more than threaten humanity, it had unleashed an unprecedented wave of human innovation. Military researchers worked alongside civilian scientists.
Traditional boundaries between academic disciplines collapsed. Physicists collaborated with computer engineers, material scientists worked with communication experts.
The alien threat had created a perfect storm of human potential. Jin Woo noticed something strange in the quantum algorithm.
A pattern emerged, not just a mathematical sequence, but something that seemed to mirror the alien communications' underlying structure.
"Look at this," he called to Dr. Kim.
The algorithm was different.
It wasn't just about processing power, but about adaptive intelligence.
Traditional computing followed rigid rules. This new system could learn, predict, and counter in microseconds. It was less a computer and more a living, thinking entity.
Dr. Kim realized they weren't just developing a defense system. They were creating a new form of intelligence that could understand and potentially neutralize alien technology. Across the facility, younger researchers worked with a mix of fear and excitement.
They understood this wasn't just a scientific challenge, it was humanity's survival at stake.
Every line of code, every quantum calculation could mean the difference between human extinction and resistance. Outside the facility, the world continued normally. People went to work, children attended school, cities functioned. They had no idea how close they were to a technological revolution that would change everything. The first successful test came unexpectedly. A small prototype system suddenly broke through a complex alien communication encryption that had previously seemed impenetrable. The room erupted in quiet, controlled celebration. "We can communicate," Jin Woo whispered.
"We can understand their technology." Dr. Kim knew this was more than a breakthrough. This was humanity's first real weapon against the alien threat.
Not a traditional weapon of destruction, but a weapon of understanding, adaptation, and intelligence.
Military advisors were brought in.
They saw immediately what the scientists had created: a system that could potentially neutralize alien technological superiority. It wasn't about matching their power, but about understanding and countering it in ways the aliens could never predict.
The quantum system had an organic quality.
It learned, adapted, and evolved with each interaction. Traditional alien defense mechanisms became predictable, almost simplistic when confronted with this new human intelligence.
President Yoon Lee was briefed in a secure underground facility. When Dr. Kim demonstrated the system, the president's typically calm demeanor showed a rare moment of genuine surprise and hope.
"They won't see this coming," she said quietly.
The research continued.
Each breakthrough was carefully documented, each discovery protected. Humanity was preparing not just for defense, but for a potential counteroffensive that would shock the galactic community. Outside, the alien ship still hung in Earth's atmosphere, a constant reminder of the threat. But inside this facility, something remarkable was happening.
Humanity was transforming fear into innovation, uncertainty into potential. Dr. Kim looked at her team.
They were tired, stressed, but their eyes burned with determination.
They weren't just scientists anymore. They were humanity's first line of technological defense against an unknown cosmic threat.
The quantum system pulsed softly, a living testament to human potential. Something extraordinary was about to begin. The first battle erupted without warning. Alien ships descended through Earth's atmosphere, their metallic surfaces reflecting the morning sunlight like razor-sharp blades. Admiral J. Choi watched from the Global Defense Command Center, his fingers gripping the edge of the tactical display. Prototype human starships rose to meet the invasion. They looked nothing like traditional spacecraft, sleek, unpredictable, designed with the quantum algorithms developed by Dr. Eun Kim's team. Each vessel moved with a fluidity that defied conventional physics. The alien fleet expected a quick, decisive victory. Their first wave of attack followed standard Imperial conquest protocols, massive energy weapons, coordinated assault patterns that had crushed countless civilizations before. But humanity had other plans. Captain Hyun Park piloted the lead experimental fighter. His ship's systems responded to threats before human reflexes could process them. The quantum adaptive network anticipated alien weapon trajectories, allowing impossible maneuvers that confused the invading fleet. Energy weapons that should have obliterated human ships suddenly found themselves redirected. Alien commanders watched in disbelief as their most advanced weaponry became ineffective. Human ships danced between massive enemy vessels, striking with precision that seemed almost supernatural. The battle wasn't just about technology. It was about human unpredictability. Where alien military doctrine followed rigid, logical patterns, human pilots introduced chaos. They broke every rule of traditional space combat, turning the engagement into a nightmare for the Zorn Imperial fleet. One alien battlecruiser attempted a standard suppression formation. Within moments, 3 human fighters had penetrated its defensive perimeter, targeting critical systems with surgical precision. The massive ship began to break apart, its technological superiority suddenly meaningless. Communication intercepts revealed growing confusion among the alien commanders. They had no framework to understand this type of resistance. Humanity wasn't playing by any known galactic combat rules. Admiral Choi's voice remained calm. Maintain formation. Stay adaptive, he instructed the human fleet. Each pilot was more than a soldier, they were part of a living, thinking network that responded faster than traditional military communication. The quantum systems developed by Dr. Kim's team transformed each human ship into an intelligent weapon. They learned, adapted, and counterattacked in milliseconds. Alien targeting systems found themselves constantly outmaneuvered. Massive energy explosions lit up the sky above major cities. But contrary to expectations, these weren't signs of destruction. They were the visual representation of humanity's unexpected resistance. Each blast represented another alien tactical formation broken, another impossible victory achieved. Civilian populations watched the battle through live satellite feeds. What should have been a moment of terror became a demonstration of human potential. Social media exploded with real-time updates, turning the cosmic battle into a global experience of collective hope. Captain Park's fighter took multiple direct hits. But the adaptive systems Dr. Kim developed meant damage was immediately compensated, self-repair mechanisms working faster than human thought. Where any other civilization would have been destroyed, humanity continued to fight. The alien fleet began a tactical retreat. It wasn't a calculated withdrawal, but a genuine response to an unexpected threat. They had encountered resistance before, but never this type of comprehensive, adaptive defense. By battle's end, humanity had lost fewer than 20 spacecraft. The alien invasion force was reduced by nearly 70%. More importantly, they had sent a clear message to the galactic community: Earth would not be an easy conquest. Admiral Choi watched the retreating alien ships. "They'll be back," he told his command team. "And next time, we'll be even more prepared." The sky above Earth cleared. Smoke from the battle dissipated. But something fundamental had changed. Humanity had just transformed from a potential conquest to a serious galactic threat. In research facilities, military bases, and command centers worldwide, people celebrated. This wasn't just a victory. This was proof of human potential, of our ability to face the unknown and emerge stronger. The first engagement was over. But humanity's real journey was just beginning. The global resistance movement spread like wildfire across continents. Information networks buzzed with stories of human defiance, transforming fear into a powerful collective energy.
Governments that once operated independently now worked with unprecedented coordination. Intelligence teams discovered something remarkable about the alien supply routes.
These weren't just military pathways, but complex logistical networks that had remained unchallenged for centuries.
Humanity saw an opportunity.
Captain Hyun Park led a specialized covert team targeting these alien supply lines. Their mission wasn't traditional warfare, but strategic disruption. Small teams would infiltrate, introduce quantum computational viruses, and completely destabilize alien communication and transportation systems.
In South America, a group of engineers repurposed mining equipment to create electromagnetic pulse generators.
These devices could temporarily disable alien technological systems, creating windows of vulnerability.
Traditional military thinking would have considered such approaches impossible.
Dr. Eun Kim's research team continued developing adaptive technologies. They discovered that the alien communication networks had subtle vulnerabilities, mathematical patterns that could be exploited through carefully designed computational algorithms. Communication between different human resistance groups became a science of its own. Encrypted channels, quantum-secured networks, and rapidly changing communication protocols meant the aliens could never predict human movement or strategy. Military strategists realized they weren't fighting a traditional war.
This was a complex game of technological and psychological warfare. Every alien weakness would be systematically identified and exploited. Satellite networks previously used for communication and navigation were now transformed into sophisticated tracking and disruption platforms. Humanity was turning its existing technological infrastructure into a global defense mechanism.
Unexpected allies emerged.
Scientists from different countries who had previously competed now shared research instantly.
Military units from nations that had historical conflicts now trained together, united by a single purpose. The alien empire began experiencing unprecedented challenges.
Supply routes that had remained stable for generations suddenly became unreliable.
Communication networks experienced unexplained disruptions. Their supposedly advanced technology became increasingly unpredictable.
Psychological warfare played a crucial role. Humanity didn't just resist, they introduced elements of unpredictability that confused the alien command structure.
Misinformation, strategic misdirection, and adaptive communication strategies became weapons more powerful than traditional armaments.
Civilian populations transformed into extended resistance networks.
Social media, previously a platform for entertainment, became a sophisticated intelligence-gathering system.
Ordinary people became crucial components of the global defense strategy. Admiral J. Choi oversaw these complex operations with a calm, calculated approach.
He understood that victory wouldn't come from a single massive confrontation, but through continuous, adaptive resistance.
The alien empire's communication intercepts revealed growing frustration. Humanity wasn't following any known resistance pattern.
Their strategies defied traditional military understanding, making them an increasingly dangerous opponent.
Research facilities worked around the clock. Universities that once focused on theoretical research now became critical components of the global defense infrastructure.
Every discipline, from quantum physics to social psychology, became a potential weapon.
Global communication networks showed something extraordinary.
Where the alien invasion might have previously caused panic, humanity now displayed a sense of collective purpose.
Fear had transformed into determination. Small resistance groups in different parts of the world began sharing tactical information. A technological solution discovered in a research lab in Japan could be implemented by a resistance team in Brazil within hours.
The speed of human adaptation became their greatest strength. The alien empire realized they were facing something unprecedented. This wasn't just a technological challenge, but a fundamental clash with a species that refused to be categorized or controlled.
As weeks passed, the resistance became more sophisticated.
What started as a defensive strategy was slowly transforming into a potential counteroffensive. Humanity was no longer just surviving, they were preparing to challenge the galactic status quo.
Captain Park looked at the global resistance maps. Complex networks of information, technological disruption, and strategic planning covered the display.
Humanity was writing a new chapter in cosmic resistance.
The global resistance had begun.
And nothing would ever be the same again. The final confrontation arrived without dramatic fanfare. Earth's modified fleet moved with calculated precision through alien territories, a silent symphony of technological innovation and human determination. Captain Hyun Park stood on the bridge of the lead starship, his hands steady on the quantum adaptive control systems. Around him, a crew of carefully selected pilots and engineers represented humanity's most advanced technological achievement.
The alien defense perimeters, once considered impenetrable, now looked like fragile constructions.
Decades of unchallenged imperial control had made the Zorn Empire complacent.
Humanity's unexpected resistance had exposed critical vulnerabilities in their supposedly invincible system. Dr. Eun Kim's quantum computational network guided the fleet's movements.
Each starship was more than a weapon, it was a living, thinking entity that could predict and counter alien technological defenses in microseconds.
The first wave of alien counterattack came swiftly.
Massive energy weapons that had destroyed countless civilizations before now seemed almost primitive against human adaptive technologies.
Human ships moved with a fluidity that defied traditional understanding of space combat. Admiral J. Choi monitored the engagement from the Global Defense Command Center.
His team had spent months preparing for this moment, not just a military confrontation, but a fundamental challenge to galactic power structures.
Alien communication channels became increasingly desperate.
Their command structures, built on millennia of unquestioned imperial control, began to fragment. Humanity wasn't just resisting, they were systematically dismantling the Zorn Empire's technological and psychological foundations.
The battle wasn't about overwhelming force.
It was about adaptability, innovation, and an unpredictable human spirit that the alien empire had never encountered before.
Each human tactical move introduced an element of chaos that completely disrupted alien military doctrine.
Massive alien battleships found themselves outmaneuvered by smaller, more intelligent human vessels. Weapon systems that had been developed over centuries became ineffective against humanity's quantum adaptive technologies. Communication networks across the galaxy began to transmit fragments of the conflict. Other subjugated civilizations watched in growing amazement. If humanity could challenge the Zorn Empire, perhaps hope existed for others.
Captain Park's final transmission to the retreating alien fleet was simple and direct: "You underestimated humanity. Never do that again."
The quantum computational systems developed by Dr. Kim's team did more than guide weapons. They communicated, adapted, and learned with each microsecond of the engagement. The human fleet wasn't just fighting, they were evolving in real time.
Alien territories began to destabilize.
Supply routes collapsed, communication networks fragmented, and their once mighty imperial structure began to crumble.
Humanity had introduced something the Zorn Empire had never experienced: true technological unpredictability. President Yoon Lee addressed the global population.
Her message was clear: this wasn't just a military victory, but a moment that would redefine humanity's place in the cosmic community.
The final stages of the confrontation were almost anticlimactic. The alien fleet, once considered invincible, retreated in complete disarray.
Their technological superiority had been systematically dismantled by human innovation.
As the last alien vessels disappeared from Earth's tracking systems, a strange silence fell.
Humanity had done what no civilization had done before: they had not just resisted, but comprehensively defeated a galactic imperial power. Research facilities around the world began analyzing the technological artifacts recovered from the conflict.
Each piece represented a potential leap in human understanding of cosmic technologies. Captain Park looked out at the star-filled darkness.
The battle was over, but humanity's real journey was just beginning. They were no longer just a planetary civilization, they were now a potential galactic power.
The Zorn Empire's communication networks carried a final, fragmented message that would echo through alien civilizations: humanity had arrived. And they would not be conquered.
Earth had transformed from a potential conquest to a serious cosmic threat.
The universe would never be the same again.